Good morning. I think we could do it better than that. Good morning. I am Melody Pierce. I have the pleasure of serving as the Executive Director for WorkSource Southwest Georgia. I stand before you in my red for two purposes. You know, this is Love Month, right? And number two, red represents power. And I look out into this audience and all the brain trust and all the background and all the wisdom that's brought here for this 4th annual summit. I know I am in a powerhouse. So please give yourselves a round of applause for being here. And this is, to the left of me, my sidekick and counterpart, and Roberta. She will introduce herself, but I say that to say we have the meeting of the minds and the meeting of the regions, and it just shows how much you can get accomplished when it is unity versus one person trying to accomplish something. So that's my sidekick here. And I just want to give a little shout out to some other directors from other regions, because it's 18 workforce local areas, just in case. I want to give a shout out to Daryl and Keith, who traveled this morning, got on the road at 7 o'clock just to be here. So thank you all for the continual support. Thank you. Now, Roberta.
I hate to follow Melody because I'm not nearly as eloquent as she is. Hey, y'all. Glad to see everybody here this morning. I'm Roberta Lovett. I'm the Deputy Executive Director for the Southern Georgia Regional Commission, which includes WorkSource Southern Georgia. And everything that Melody said, I agree with totally. We're so glad you're here. And I'm going to, Amy thanks lots of people, and she will throughout the program, but my thank you before I introduce Karen is thank you to the Technical College System of Georgia, Office of Workforce Development, for many years ago realizing that we needed some funding and we needed to create some sector partnerships within all of the areas in Georgia, and that's what started us out. And we're here today, the 4th Annual Healthcare Summit. We have scholarships to give out. It's a self-sustaining organization, again, still with the help of the technical college, but just so proud and to show, like Melody said, how we all work together. It's fabulous. So glad I'm here. And on that note, I'm going to introduce Karen Kirchler. Karen's the Deputy Commissioner of the Workforce, so long, the Workforce Development for the Technical College System of Georgia. Overseeing the administration and distribution of the state's federal WIOA Title I and Title III funding through the Office of Workforce Development. Prior to accepting the role in 2021, Karen served as the Senior Executive Director of Economic Development for the Technical College System of Georgia, coordinating resources and support for the economic development divisions within each of the system's 22 technical colleges. So please welcome Karen up here. We're so excited that she came.
Good morning, y'all. I did not have the forethought that Melody did about her coloring. This was clean from the dry cleaner. That's why I'm wearing it. So, but welcome. Thank you, and thank you all for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I was asked to kind of speak to sector partnerships in general and just kind of a broad overview of what sector partnerships are about. So I've got about 65 slides, so only take, that's a lie. But really, in a nutshell, industry sector partnerships are a collaborative, coordinated approach between employers, workforce providers, training providers, educational agencies, chambers of commerce, development authorities sometimes, to work together to develop talent pipelines and access to jobs in order to increase the number of job seekers and the participation in what are identified as critical industries for a local area or a region. And obviously, this region has identified healthcare as, a critical industry to focus on. And we talk about sector partnerships, P is the important word, right? Partnership. They can't happen, or the activities that these things create and the impact that they have doesn't happen if the local workforce areas operate in a vacuum, or if the colleges operate in a vacuum. The real magic occurs, and the progress is made when everybody kind of comes together. And this particular sector partnership has evolved over the years and is a model that I'd be proud to roll out at any conference around the country, any workforce development conference, to say, here's a model. This is how they did it. It grew over time. That's the thing. It takes work. It takes investment and time in order to make these things happen. So you guys have done a great job here. While we might think of sector partnerships as primarily benefiting employers, right, because the idea is that we're developing talent on their behalf, the reality is that we all have skin in this game. If you are an educational provider, a training provider, you're looking for placements, you're looking for outcomes with the folks you're working with, right? If you're a workforce development provider, you've got federal metrics you have to meet, right? You want to make sure that your funds are well spent and that you're hitting those marks. And then, of course, job seekers, right? They are the really direct winners of the work that you do in terms of we're creating access to quality jobs with career pathways that allow folks to get into really good jobs with opportunities to support their families and to do a good job of advancing themselves and lifting themselves up when needed. So when you add all of that up, though, it's really our communities, right, that benefit. You can't just say, it's just job seekers, it's just workforce, it's just the technical colleges or the local high schools and the career academies. They're the ones who are benefiting from this sector partnership stuff. It's collective, right? The benefit is broad and wide. You see job seekers who get placed, and then suddenly they're earning an income that allows them to go out and have expendable income and contribute that into your community, right? Inject that. It's a full circle kind of benefit for everyone. I'm proud to say that, we had a small part in it, in that we provided some seed money that Roberta mentioned to help facilitate some of the activities and some of the work that's being done. But the reality is the work happens here. It happens at the local area. It's a small part that we play at the state office. The big doings all happen here. And so I would be completely remiss if I didn't acknowledge the work that Melody, Roberta, Amy, Jerry, and certainly all of their partners. I gotta, shout out to the technical colleges, the work that they do, Southern Regional, Wiregrass, Albany, everybody, who has a role in this. So when we think of all of that, again, it just underscores the concept of partnership. And so I just want to commend the work that you're doing. I think today is probably going to be a very productive and meaningful day, and ideally it will continue to carry this partnership forward and continue to strengthen it and make it even more sustainable over time. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I won't be here all day, but if you have ideas, questions, thoughts, and you just want to run me down and offer those up, I'm more than happy to hear them. And if you can't reach me here today, I'm certainly available at the state office. So thank you so much. Have a great day. I appreciate it.
Thanks, boss. Very kind words. So it is my pleasure to introduce our opening speaker. I may cut this down a little bit, Lisa, because it's like, So Lisa Stevens is a native of Dawson, Georgia. She is the Vice President, Associate VP of Academic Affairs for the Business Healthcare Technology Division of Albany Technical College. She earned her associate degree in radiologic technology from Central Georgia Tech, where she also completed a certificate in computed tomography magnetic resonance imaging, and has an associate degree in advanced medical imaging. She continued on to Emory School of Medicine to earn her Bachelor of Medical Science degree in medical imaging with an emphasis on education. She also completed her Master of Business Administration at Mercer University. Her involvement in the profession has included membership in the Georgia Society of Radiologic Technologists, serving 2 terms as member-at-large vice president, president-elect, and is currently president, the first African-American female to hold this office. She has also served as the 2019-2020 chair of the Georgia Educators Association of Radiation and Medical Imaging. Lisa currently serves as an MRI technologist for Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital, previously served as a CT technologist for the Medical Center Navicent Health of Central Georgia, MRI technologist for Coliseum Medical Centers, Macon, and a radiologic technologist for Medical Center Navicent Health of Central Georgia. She is credentialed by the American Registry Radiologic Technologist in radiography, computer tomography, and magnetic resonance imaging. A mother of 2, Jeremiah 20 and Anya 14 are her biggest accomplishments yet. She enjoys attending Anya's many extracurricular activities, performing impromptu check-ins on Jeremiah, and an information management technology major at Kennesaw State University, all while maintaining a busy schedule. While the road to her profession was not a cookie-cutter path, understanding the power of making good choices is the mantra she lives by. I'm also proud to say that she is my friend. So I'd like to introduce our opening speaker, Lisa Stevens.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I was afraid to turn around because I see just how many people were actually in the room. So let my nerves, my heart rate settle down. But I am genuinely thrilled to be here today among esteemed colleagues, friends at this remarkable healthcare, 4th annual healthcare summit for Regions 10 and 11. This marks my 3rd consecutive year attending. And each time I'm astounded by the leaps and bounds our healthcare industry has made, but even more so what this healthcare sector partnership has done and achieved. Before I delve into my speech, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to the planning committee for this summit today. And I also want to extend a thank you to Jerry Chapman as well as Laura Calhoun, my friends, for nominating me for this honor. I also want to acknowledge my ATC family, my Albany Tech family, who's joined me here today. Would y'all please stand so I get to see who's here? Thank y'all. Your support does mean the world to me. And lastly, a special shout out to my mom. Did she make it yet? Okay, probably not. That's her though, y'all. Y'all have heard the story. Her presence or not presence here today is a testament to her unwavering support, not only for her daughter, but her community as well. So there are 3 things I want to talk about. Why do I do what I do? What is it that I do? And then lastly, how do I get it done? It's a question, why do I do what I do, that I pondered deeply over these last couple of years, especially after taking on the dean role of November of 2019 and then March of 2020 happening. That was not a cookie cutter path into leadership. The answer, though, has crystallized into this mission statement for myself and when I think about my professional journey. And that is, my mission as a professional is to inspire future generations. Thank you. My time's up already. Future generations of hometown healthcare professionals, providing them with the world-class training to meet the demands of our current and future workforce needs. And this mission is deeply rooted in my personal journey. From as early as 7th grade, I can remember I was drawn to technical education by becoming involved in Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA. Y'all know what that is? Okay, 7th grade.
And then selecting pathways in high school at 9th grade, in which I chose both business and healthcare. And it's no secret how I ended up as the Associate VP of Business and Healthcare, because I've always toggled between both of those professions. So when I was coming through high school, and I apologize to those of you here 3 years ago, you got to hear this story again, but I think it's so profound in sharing why I do what I do. In high school, we had to choose a pathway, but we had to make a selection way before then, and it was deciding if you would go for the college preparatory seal or the vocational seal. Okay. There was a stigma associated with technical education or vocational education at that time, and it was considered the route for students that were not good enough to go to college, essentially is how it was portrayed to us. So I was told I'd do college prep. It really wasn't an option for me until I found out that I could do both. And that's what I did. I selected both. So I chose business. But then it was something about healthcare that drew me to it, and I could not figure out why. But I chose not only to do the college prep and the vocational route, but also the dual seal and get both business and healthcare. It locked me into both of those for all 4 years, but I still had options. So I did 4 years of what was called health occupations. At the time, it was 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I also did 4 years of business classes, which was keyboarding. I don't know if they still teach that. Computer science 1 and 2, and then in my last year, finally, accounting. Well, FBLA had kind of been the predominant CTSO, career and technical student organization that I was involved with, and so I saw myself on the path of becoming a future business leader. I went on to become a state officer and a national officer, and at the time, I also participated in what still is the Georgia Society of CPAs summer camp programs. There's so much power in summer camps. Cannot stress that. They took a group of us up to UGA, allowed us to shadow CPAs, and brought in at the time the top 5 accounting firms, and to let us know all about the profession, the many routes. And so I made a decision that day, that summer, going into my senior year, that I was going to become a CPA. But I was also going to specialize in white-collar crimes and work for either the SEC or the FBI. Did. And so fast forward, senior year, because I was also on that health occupations track, we had the opportunity to shadow and do work-based learning. We did work-based learning at our local nursing home, long-term care facility there. And then closer to graduation, Ms. Morrison, my health occupations teacher, set up an opportunity for us to shadow. We shadowed at Phoebe Putney Hospital. I see my Phoebe family here today. And thought about it. I was like, I could really do nursing. I have a heart for people. Seems to be a pretty good, decent life. There's opportunity local, or I can, if I want to leave, there's an opportunity there as well, so I'm not tied to a specific geographical area. So I was very excited about this shadowing opportunity until they put me in the wound care clinic. If y'all don't know about wounds, consider yourself lucky. While it is a very rewarding job, it was not the job for Lisa. So by lunchtime, I called Ms. Morrison and said, I'm out of here. Not only did I leave Phoebe, I left healthcare completely and enrolled at Mercer to start working towards my accounting degree until I took managerial accounting because I wanted to focus on white-collar crimes. And I was like, we really can change the accounting system to fit the needs of our company? No, this is not what I want to do. Simultaneously, I was working at Honey Baked Ham as a call girl during the holiday. I didn't come out right. Scratch that. A phone girl during the holidays. I was answering calls for customers calling in to reserve their hams. And because of my background in FBLA and really speaking with individuals that I'm so sorry about that, Melanie.
I think it's your mom.
She's almost here. But because of my experiences in FBLA, I excelled at that role and ended up taking a job as a local sales manager for Honey Baked Ham in the Atlanta market. So I left Macon, moved to Atlanta, and worked in that for a number of years. I've always worked in specialty retail, so I found myself taking on another role as well and growing and developing in that role as well. until something around 2008 hit. Do y'all remember that? That economic recession. Found myself without a degree and without a job. A lot of people were displaced during that time. So I had to make some strong life decisions in which I dug back into my technical education roots. Enrolled at Central Georgia Technical College. I see some of my CGTC or former CGTC people here in the room. And started on my associate's degree in radiologic technology. And that has made all the difference. With that being said, I went on to graduate from Central Georgia Tech 4 times. That's a lot. 2 associate degrees as well as 2 technical certificates of completion. But the reason I did that was because of the affordability. It was very affordable. I left technical college with 2 degrees, 2 certificates, coming out with a salary somewhere between $60,000 and $70,000, 0 debt, none. Then went on to Emory University because I knew I wanted to teach. And the reason I wanted to teach is because of the power the educators have made in my life. My mom being the first one, she is an educator by profession, but she's also that first educator that taught me all of life's lessons. And then secondly, Ms. Morrison, that health occupations educator that wooed me into healthcare and gave me the opportunities. And I don't count what happened at Phoebe as a loss. I count it as a gain because I knew that I didn't want to do that profession, but I was exposed to healthcare enough to know that it was a passion, so I just had to figure out where it was. Went on to Emory University and got my bachelor's degree in medical imaging, but I didn't have to specialize in a modality such as CT or MRI because I'd already done that at technical college. I was able to focus in on what I saw was next for me, and that was education. So I learned about accreditations, not just for programmatic levels, but also for hospital systems, for college institutions, learn about the methods and materials of teaching, all of that stuff that educators need when going into a classroom and administering programs. Had I not done that education at Emory University, I would not have been prepared for what I think is one of the biggest challenges of my life. So, as an educator student at Emory, I was able to job shadow at Central Georgia Tech, where Patty Wynn, Ms. Patricia Wynn, who's still there and is the dean of their health sciences program, graciously took me under her wing and allowed me to student teach. She was not only my preceptor for student teaching, but she had also been my program chairperson for the radiologic technology program, as well as for the advanced medical imaging program. And as I stand before you today, I'm reminiscing on my journey, and I can't help but pay homage to individuals like Ms. Patty Wynn, because she embodied what I consider to be qualities of honesty and just genuine greatness. You can't measure it on a piece of paper, but you know it when you see it, and you know how it makes you feel. She approached her role as an educated administrator in an education program with remarkability to instill calmness in me, and reassuring me that any challenge that I faced was not the end of the world. And so as I reflect on my professional journey, I often find myself pondering of how I could collaborate with her. Why is it that I could work alongside her and even be a part of her team? And it underscored a fundamental truth for me as I've traversed through my professional journey, and that is simply, bosses matter. Throughout my career, I've been fortunate to encounter some exceptional leaders like Ms. Wynn, like Ms. Morrison, and like my mom, whose guidance and mentorship have left an indelible mark on my professional trajectory. In the grand tapestry of things, the influences of our bosses cannot be understated, and I know several of you are bosses or leaders in this room. They shape our experiences, they inspire our aspirations, and they propel us forward on a path to success. Whether they are catalysts to growth or stumbling blocks, their impact will be profound. And if you're a boss, it's your choice to decide which one you'll be. This segment highlights the importance of mentors for me and bosses in shaping one's professional journey, which leads me to what I do today. So I'm currently the Associate Vice President of Business and Healthcare Technology, which is basically a glorified dean with all those other assigned job duties. I'm teasing, I love it, wouldn't trade it for the world. But I have the privilege, and I do say privilege, to be a part of a lot of strategic initiatives at our college, and one being the most profound one, the Phoebe Living and Learning Community, that's slated to open July 1. Lastly, I want to get to how do we get it done? It's simply by building relationships. That lies at the heart of everything I do. I believe in fostering connections and networking relentlessly. But beyond that, I believe I must constantly challenge the status quo. When I started in 2017 at Albany Technical College as the program chair, came into an underperforming radiologic technology program whose credentialing pass rates were not where they needed to be. That was September. By December, I had a self-study due for the accrediting body. By March or April of that next year, we were having a site visit on our campus. I didn't think I was gonna make it. I was learning the college, but I had to also write to all of the resources, come up with an action plan on how we were gonna change these results, and I didn't even know who the students were. But I say all that to say, had it not been for the preparation, going back to that bachelor's degree at Emory University and minoring in education, I wouldn't have known where to look to find the answer. So constantly challenging the status quo. Afterwards, coming out of that accreditation, we passed, we got our continuing accreditation. I wanted to now provide opportunity to students at Albany Tech that I had at Central Georgia Tech, and that was starting another program. They thought I was crazy. To take a break. I was like, no, we need this. That was 2018. Had to overcome some internal roadblocks in getting the program started, in which we finally did. But then I also had to get the industry's buy-in, which was a challenge, because it was changing a culture of having experienced professionals. If you're in medical imaging, you probably know this. Before going on to a modality, they want you to work at least 2 or 3 years before you're ready to move up into those. It was considered kind of an elevation. But I knew that's not where our industry was headed, and that's not what we needed. There was a workforce crisis already in healthcare prior to COVID, but COVID just really exacerbated that. So we needed educational programs to have that pipeline and give opportunities to individuals that may not be currently employed that want to advance. So it took some innovative ways, including getting a part-time job in that one imaging area so that I could then mentor my students that I wanted to come through. But fast forward to 2020, by God, were we grateful that we were one of the few programs graduating MRI and CT techs that year, constantly challenging the status quo. As I wrap up and come to a close, as Florence Nightingale once said, I attribute my successes to this: I never gave or took any excuse. In healthcare, y'all know we cannot afford to make excuses. We must strive for excellence at every turn. I want to emphasize the importance of each and every single one of you in this room. There is a Martha Stevens somewhere, for real, and in theory. There is a Miss Morrison and a Miss Patty Wynn. Each and every single one of you, your contributions matter. My ability to inspire, to provide world-class training for future healthcare generations would not be possible without individuals like you. Every single one of you play a vital role in shaping the future of healthcare, not only in our communities, but in our country as a whole. So with that being said, I challenge each of you to build new relationships, make collaborations, challenge the status quo. Sometimes it takes stepping across the aisle and trying something that's not conventional. I would have told you some of those methods, but they are recording. But let's continue to push boundaries, challenge norms, and make a difference in the lives that we serve. Thank you.
Well, she was a great segue into how you can begin. And if you notice, she had mentioned that back when she graduated, technical school had a stigma, and she was slated for technical school. But you can see how driven and accomplished she is. So as we move into our scholarship, students pay attention to that, her drive and her ability to succeed, and not knowing your path exactly is okay, because she's shown that there's a lot of opportunity in healthcare, and so thank you again, Lisa, for sharing your story. So next, we're gonna go through our scholarships, and two things. I don't think I mentioned, I'm Amy Jones. So I wanna thank you all for being here. You probably got a lot of emails from me, so. The other thing is I have a lot of strengths, but I have weaknesses, and one of them is PowerPoint. So I'm sorry for the slide. This is not what I envisioned, so I'm sorry. But we're gonna go through and announce our scholarship winners. And the way this scholarship came about was our healthcare group that makes this summit possible. When we first started, we were able to pay for food, and then the grant was told us that we couldn't pay for food. And I asked our group, I said, what are we gonna do? And they said, I'll be a sponsor. I'll be a sponsor. And so they all just pitched in and stepped up. And we said, well, we need X number of dollars to pay for food. And what do we do if we raise more than that? And they said, we want to build a scholarship fund. And we raised in excess of $9,000 extra. So, yes. So because of that support, we split the difference between WorkSource Southern and WorkSource Southwest, and we each had our scholarship applications. And let me tell you, building a scholarship application and process is not easy. But we built another group, another committee that did that. They decided how they wanted it to look, what they wanted it to, the results to be, what the qualifications were. And we thought, well, maybe we're gonna get a few, maybe we're gonna get 5. We got 60 in our region applications. Jerry got just about the same in his region. So this was fantastic. We were able to have the committee, just a few, do the review committee and choose those scholarships. For our region, we separated them, both of us did, we separated high school and post-secondary. So for our high school winners, there was a clear 3 top that tied for first. So without delay, I'll go ahead and start. I'll do our winners for high school and post-secondary, and then Jerry will do Southwest winners for high school and post-secondary. So I would like to bring up Miss Katie Garcia. She is our scholarship winner from Fitzgerald College and Career Academy, and she intends to go to ABAC for her BSN. Yeah. You don't have to, but you can.
I just wanted to say thank you for choosing me, and yeah.
Thank you, Katie. Our next winner is Mr. Levi Hardy. He's from Pierce County. He intends to go to South Georgia State College and BSN and move on to podiatry. You want to say something?
Thank you for this opportunity. I'll make sure that goes to good work.
And the final winner for high school is Miss Heather Ortiz. She goes to Cook High School. She intends to go to VSU and also earn her BSN. She lost her voice, but she says thank you. Okay, help me give them a round of applause because they were really hard for this. And we'll get more pictures with you guys out in the front if you will wait. So on to our post-secondary. We ended up with 5 winners, and we had a first, second, and we had 3 tied for third. So our first place winner is Judy Wood. I don't believe she was able to be here today, but I think somebody from Southern Regional can come up and accept the award on her behalf. She is in Southern Regional Technical College in the practical nursing program, and she graduates in July. Miss Judy Wood is the winner, if I didn't say that.
I'm the program chair.
Okay, well, good. Thank you.
So our students are currently, any of our nursing students that receive this scholarship, they are currently working very hard to finish the program, so they're in clinicals today.
Yeah.
So I'm accepting on their behalf, so I know they greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. If you want to.
Look that way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate you doing that. Our next winner is Gloria Salazar. She's our second place winner. She goes to Wiregrass Technical College, the ASN program, and will graduate in May.
I just want to say thank you. I'm extremely blessed and grateful to receive the scholarship, and it'll be extremely helpful in my last semester. Thank you.
And we have 3 that are tied for third place. That is Monica Jackson. She attends Wiregrass, Georgia Technical College. She's in the dental hygiene program and will graduate in May. And I don't believe she's here this morning. Is there anybody from Wiregrass Dental Program that wants to? Miss Deanna Clement, she's president.
And again, I know Monica would love to be here to accept this, but she is hopefully working with patients this morning. So thank you.
Thank you. If you, yeah. And that's the thing, you know, they're in school right now, and so it was very hard for them to get here. So the second, third place winner is Kathleen Stone. She also attends Wiregrass. She's in the ASN RN nursing program, and she will graduate next year in May.
Thank you.
And I don't think I mentioned, Judy Wood, she's from Tift County. Gloria Salazar is Brooks County. Monica is Lowndes County. Kathleen is Cook County. And then our final third place winner is Laney Tucker. She's from Clinch County, and she is she's going to South Georgia State College in the ASN program, and also will graduate in May.
Oh, sure. Thank you all for this opportunity, and congratulations to all the winners.
So this has been a lot of fun, but like Amy says, this was a lot of work. Anytime, it'll be easier next year, I'm hoping. But, you know, the idea, oh, let's just do a scholarship program. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's not a YouTube site for that. But luckily, we had some really good partners that have done this, and we leaned on them very heavily. But this was very, very time-consuming, so, but very worthwhile. So, ours was a little bit different in that we had the same the high school scholarships and the post-secondary scholarships. For high school scholarships, we had one first-place winner, which would be $1,000. One second-place winner awarded $600. And 2 tied for third place awarded $400. Post-secondary was the same, had one first place winner at $1,000, second place winner was awarded $600, and 2 tied for third awarded $400 each. So let's start with the high school. Maddie Moore. Maddie Moore is a senior at Cairo High School and plans to attend ABAC. Her program of study is nursing and plans to become an RN.
I'm truly thankful and blessed for this opportunity, so thank y'all.
That was one of the big questions, do they have to give the check back or can they keep it? You can keep it, but don't try to take it to the drive-through. Won't take it. Eugenia Rivera Rodriguez is a senior at Colquitt County High School, and plans to attend Valdosta State University. Her program of study is pre-med and plans to become a surgeon. Congratulations. Would you like to say something?
Okay, I'm very blessed to have this opportunity to get this scholarship, and a very big shout out to Ms. Culpepper. You know, she sent the link to the scholarship maybe in like early November, and I'm very thankful that she sent it to me and that I applied. So, thank you.
Okay, Emily Lopez Juarez is a senior at Colquitt County High School and plans to attend ABAC or VSU. Her program of study is the RN program and plans to become an RN. Emily couldn't make it this morning. She's in class, but Shannon Jones with Colquitt County High School is going to accept her award. Would you like to say something?
We just want to thank you guys for giving our students this opportunity to have these, the opportunity to get the scholarships, and I know Emily is very thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. And before I forget, we already have more money for next year's scholarship program than we had this year. We haven't got the final tally, but this is going to be big and growing every year. Very proud of it. Kennedy Jones is a senior at Seminole County High School and plans to attend ABAC Bainbridge. Her program of study is health science and plans to become a psychiatrist. Kennedy was unable to attend, accepting her award as Associate Professor Kenan Deal from ABAC.
So just on behalf of Kennedy and ABAC, thank you for the support, for the contributions, for these opportunities for these students. Thank you very much.
Okay, Riley Elwine presently lives in Albany, Georgia, and will be attending Albany State University, studying in their nursing program. She plans on pursuing a nursing career at Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital in the emergency room. While Riley was unable to attend, accepting her award is Dr. Carrie Tanner from Albany State University. Thank you. Want to say something?
Yes. Thank you. I know that is gracious of your time and effort. I can't imagine going through those applications as we do when we're looking for the students to enter our career programs. But as a lifelong part of South Georgia, we appreciate that, to reward any students these days that are showing initiative and a desire to work. So thank you.
Okay, Rhonda Fry presently lives in Durham, Georgia, and attends Southern Regional Technical College. Her program of study is practical nursing and will be an LPN by the summer. Her next step will be the Bridge Registered Nurse Program at Southern Regional, and feels she would thrive on the maternal floor or pediatrics floor. Rhonda was unable to attend. Accepting her is PN and ASM Program Chair Athelina Benton from Southern Regional. You want to say something first, or do the picture first? Like say any more?
I'll just say again, thank you. These students couldn't do it without the support And we look forward to having her bridge from our LPN program to our ASN program to continue to put out the best workforce in South Georgia. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Octavia Nixon presently lives in Thomasville, Georgia, and attends Southern Regional Technical College, studying in ADN nursing. She plans to continue living in Thomasville and work locally at Archbold Medical Center. After finishing college, she plans to enroll in nurse practitioner school to obtain a degree in either pediatric or mental health NP. Octavia was unable to attend. Accepting for her is PN and ASN program chair Athelina Benton from Southern Regional. Are you done? Or you want to? She says ditto. Well, that's done. Okay, Taylor Howell presently lives in Camilla, Georgia, and attends Southern Regional Technical College, Thomasville campus. Her program of study is licensed practical nursing. She plans on becoming an oncology nurse in Thomasville. Taylor was unable to attend, accepting for her as PN and ASN program chair, Athelina Benton from Southern Regional. So Athelina had more stage time than Karen did. So, can't wait to do this again next year. This has been a big, very rewarding success. Thank you for all of those that served on these committees and helped with picking the winners. Amy and I, we did not want to dare dive into the application review, so we had other people do that. And I thank all of those, and we had a lot of help. I do want to give one little shout out. Is Randy Davis here? I know he's registered. So I got to stand up, Randy. I tell you, Sandra Martin, she and I were attending one of Laura's Teach Academy events at PCOM last year, and Randy was given a talk on scholarships and all kinds of different programs that they do. He is with the Darton Foundation, and Sandra says, we got to get him on the committee. So Randy has been our go-to guy to, can we do this? How should we do that? And so we had a lot of help from the whole team, but I did want to give Randy a little bit of an extra shout out. So thank y'all so much for this.
I would like to say just one more thing, if I may. We didn't mention that the qualifications for this was that they had to live in our 18 county or 14 county area. They had to be going to school in those areas, and they had to plan to stay in our area to live, work, and serve. And that was a big deal because, you know, we tend to lose one of the data points on there was that how many people leave. So we wanted to make sure that they intend to stay. So all these award winners are planning to serve our communities that we live in. So thank you. We can bring up Jane Nestor. She's going to be our moderator for our next panel. It'll be conversations with non-traditional programs. Amy Davis, Lance Farlow, and Derrick Ogletree.
Well, hello, good morning. Well, we're off to a great start. Congratulations to all the winners once again, and also to all the mentors, the teachers, the parents for helping to get their students, their children to this point. It's such an exciting time. So again, congratulations. My name is Jane Nestor. I'm the Executive Director for the Magnolia Coastlands AHEC, based in Statesboro, Georgia. And we're at the Georgia Southern University campus. And our mission is to recruit, train, and retain healthcare professionals in our 39-county southeast region of Georgia. And I'm very happy to be here today to moderate this panel discussion on conversations with non-traditional programs. And our program being presented is called Street to Station. You might have heard of it, but if not, we're going to tell you about it. I'd like to introduce to you our panelists. With us, to my left, We have Ms. Amy Carter Davis, and she is the Special Assistant to the President, serving all the campuses of Southern Regional Technical College. And to my right, we also have Lieutenant Lance Farlow from Thomas County Emergency Services and Southern Regional, as well as Mr. Derrick Ogletree, Emergency Services Director for Thomas County. So welcome. I've enjoyed getting to know a little bit about what they do and who they are, where they work, and also I consider them new colleagues and friends of mine. I'm glad they're here. So let's get started. I'd like to give you an overview on the Street to Station program and what it entails. The Technical College System of Georgia received a federal grant known as the Apprenticeship for Economic Recovery to provide apprenticeship funding for its colleges to help offset the costs for eligible programs. Southern Regional Technical College started its apprenticeship program just under 3 years ago. After Amy was approached initially by Thomas County's manager regarding the shortage of emergency services personnel, and after presenting the apprenticeship program to Southern Regional's paramedicine instructors, Amy and Lance put their heads together to plan a partnership between Thomas County EMS Services and Southern Regional Technical College. This apprenticeship is the first of its kind and aims to train the medics or individuals who are cross-trained in both fire rescue and emergency medical services. It's a 3-year program that offers training, shadowing, and mentoring, all vital in the role of a fire medic. The apprenticeship program currently provides up to $4,400 in funding for each apprentice's training and work experiences, including any out-of-pocket expenses such as state boards, uniforms, or additional training. In addition to the Apprenticeship for Economic Recovery Grant, employers may apply for the High Demand Career Initiative Grant, which is Georgia's first ever state-funded apprenticeship initiative. Employers who are chosen for this grant can receive up to $10,000 per apprentice once the apprentice has successfully completed the program. Employers are eligible to apply for awards for up to 5 employed registered apprentices per year. So already you can see we're off to a great start with this program. Let's delve more into why and how this innovative and exciting apprenticeship program got started. So I've got a list of questions I'd like to ask our panel. And then after we finish that, we want to introduce to you some special apprentices, and then we'll take question and answers so we can kind of find out a little bit more about the program. So first up, to everyone on the panel here, before the Street to Station program came together, what were the key points that sparked the need for the program?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Does that mean I get to go first?
You go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I think one of the biggest things that we saw collectively around the board and around the table was that we are not doing well as far as individuals who want to get into the actual industry. It's a very difficult job, very arduous, and it does not attract as many people as we would like to see to support the populations that we have and the infrastructure that we have to continue providing industry services and emergency services across the board. So the need was definitely there, and so we had to try to find something to work for that. So,
Amy, you want to add, or Lance?
Well, there we go. As Jane mentioned, Mike Stevenson, who's here today, had approached me about working with Thomas County EMS to try to build something to help them with recruitment. So Lance, I had presented apprenticeships to our EMT program at Southern Regional, and Lance and I just sat down in my office one day in Thomasville, it seems like for hours, coming up with a plan for how we can make this happen. The thing that I did know from them was that they were getting 1 and 2 applicants at a time, trying to train them as they go, and so we thought maybe we could build a program that would bring in a class. I was told that they were about at half staff, and Derrick can speak more to the overtime they were paying for that reason, but we decided to put it together and build this partnership, and I'll turn it over to Derrick.
And a partnership it has been indeed. We really enjoyed it thus far, but again, the main purpose in this is I needed employees. We needed employees. Our community needed first responders. And what a better way to do that. We were getting an application here, application there, part-time, full-time, one at a time, basically is what it was. So this was an eye-opening experience to pull in a handful of recruits and put them to work.
So you can already see the partnership really building here. So Lance, I'd like to ask you this question. What is the training schedule for street to station?
So what we did, we brought in basically phases, and each phase would have a certain area to work and train upon. It does take approximately a year right now to get a qualification certification as what is called as an advanced EMT. And so we knew that would have to be on the back end because we couldn't hire them without being able to put them to work in what we're doing. So the first phase actually sought to get them fire certified with the state, and that's what we did, and that took approximately 10 to 12 weeks. There was 420 odd hours of actual training that went in, plus another week or two for specialty training that was specific to the agency itself. As soon as they finished that, at the first of the year, they began their EMT course, and by this December, they'll be finished with the advanced EMT course there, and hopefully a percentage of them will move on to the paramedic program and so on and forth. So it continues to push higher level providers out there to the community. So.
Great. So we've talked about how do you get people interested when there are very few applying. So what was your magic sauce? How did you find entry-level staff prior to street to station program? What did you do? I'll toss that to Derrick.
Traditionally, the same old routine. You put your openings out in the paper. You talk to your local radio show host and try to get those employees in. Yes, across our community, there is a word of mouth to do it, but the application process is sometimes long, sometimes it's hard. Those who are already in the stations or already certified don't want to leave their primary job or don't want to leave where they are because they're happy. So it was hard getting those applications in, like I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the process of registering apprentices. Amy, you want to take that one?
I want to elaborate a little more on the last question, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to bring Derrick back to the mic for that a little bit. But we ended up partnering, I want to say last June, July timeline, for the purpose of marketing this program street to station to the community. And so I want Derrick to give you the numbers. Again, 1 and 2 people at a time applying random times during the year. And Derrick, tell them in just a few weeks of us marketing it and the folks who came, how many, give us your numbers.
The numbers that we had, the way it was set up is they did we advertised through Indeed. We partnered with Southern Regional Technical College, and we did some Facebook stuff to get the word out there. There was a short process. All those 82 that were interested in the initial contacted Lieutenant Farlow. He asked them a few questions not out of the ordinary, questions just like you would fill out on your application. Do you have a valid driver's license? Do you have a high school diploma in GED? We had 82 of those that responded that Lieutenant Farlow spoke to. Of those 82, after we figured out who could do what, we had 26 that went through our system, went through our vetting process. They had to take an entrance exam to Southern Regional Technical College, because at the end, phase 2 is going through advanced EMT school. We had 26 that did that. We had those that did the physical agilities test, and then they filled out applications. Of the 26 that went through and made it that far, we interviewed 13. 13 made it that far. Of those 13, we hired 10, and we graduated 7. And those 7 are with us today.
So from June to 82, that's incredible. And also, I would imagine through the process, you really got to know the candidates. So really, you're getting some really great team members. Wonderful.
So I'll go back to the question you asked. I'm sorry. The process for registering apprentices, it's a 3-step process on the front end. The first thing that we do is we meet with the industry and go through a work process. These are the competencies that we want the student to learn both in the classroom and on the job. The second thing we do is sign the employer. We'll sign an employer acceptance agreement. It's kind of that contract between the college and the the employer. And then lastly, we register the apprentice. It's very easy. I actually have my right hand with me, not this one, but my true right hand, which is Donna Heyman up here up front in the green, who helps me with all the paperwork that we have that go along with the apprenticeship program. But that's about it. I mean, we track the students as they go. We reach out for hours, but it's a wonderful program with incredible funding that goes along from the federal government that we're glad to have available to us for them.
Well, thanks for the update on the registering of the apprentices. Let's kind of go back to the apprentices now just completed their fighting training in November. So where are we at now with the schedule for the apprentices? What will be their next steps?
Well, they completed their training in December, and Lieutenant Farlow and I, when we got to thinking about it, how are we going to take 7 new firefighters and put them on the same shift, knowing that in January they're going to start advanced EMT school. So we had to scratch our head for a little bit, and we finally figured out the best way to do it is divide them up across the shifts. We have 3 shifts. So a few of them went to 1 shift, so on and so forth. And as we got to thinking about it, what a better opportunity to let them start, although they've met their coworkers, to learning and letting their coworkers teach them the little secrets of the trade. And then we went one step further. Next semester, we'll move them shifts and let them ride a few weeks or a few months with another shift to learn the other people that they really may not even know yet. And then the 3rd semester, we're going to move them again. So after they graduated Firefighter 1 school, they went to shift work. Firefighter 1 was a 40-hour week. They went to shift work. They're working 24 hours a day. They're off 2 days, and then they come back on that every 3rd shift. So that's the rotation that we decided to work with.
Sounds like a very robust schedule, but well planned out to really balance out all what they need to know and be mentored and to spend time with those they need to spend time with. So wonderful. So I guess ask me a question. Would you like more apprentices for the future?
Absolutely, absolutely. What a better way to take a person, basically, someone off the street to station. Watch them grow as a team. And I will tell you, these 7 will fight for each other. They'll fight for you too, but they are a true team. They went to school together. They've been in those situations that Firefighter 1 classes take you through. But what a better way to take someone, let them train in your facility by your employees with your equipment on your vehicles and learn the way your processes are on how to fight fire, and then continue to build that when they are on an ambulance and they're treating patients and treating the community. What a better way to do that than to train them yourself in-house.
And become part of your team. So it takes time to build that trust and that relationship, which really adds to all of the training, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's see here. How about some suggestions or advice for people thinking about apprenticeship opportunities in your area, your region? I'm going to turn that to Amy.
Absolutely. Well, at Southern Regional, Donna and I are your contacts. If you live in our 11 counties, please reach out to us if you're interested in talking about apprenticeships, signing them, registering. We'd love to have you. But any of our technical colleges, we all have an apprenticeship program. We all have an apprenticeship coordinator, so please reach out to Wiregrass, reach out to Albany Tech if you have any interest in finding out more about the apprenticeship program. And while I have your ear, what I'd love to do is have our 7 recruits stand. Our 7 apprentices are all here. And we would like to bring up Fabian Hernandez, who is one of our recruits, and he would like to just, well, Jane has a few questions for him to answer as well.
So welcome, Fabian. Thank you for coming up to spend some time with us.
His AKA Princess.
So I'm not sure if you've seen a picture of the 7 I have in the newspaper, so they're quite well known now. So welcome again. Thank you for being with us. So Fabian, what skills do you think you've gained as an apprentice? What does it mean to you?
As an apprentice, I've learned how to tackle the complex challenges that may occur on a fire scene or a medical call with other experienced personnel.
So, having gone through the apprenticeship, do you think you've done better now than before actually doing the apprenticeship?
Yes, ma'am. I've gained a lot of confidence doing this, and I've also gained a lot of knowledge from people that have been doing EMS calls and fire calls for about 10, 20 years, almost their entire life.
So, just thinking back to your personal experience, what are some maybe recommendations or advice you might give to others that might be interested in the profession? Anything that kind of makes you say, this is where you need to be?
I'd say that everyone, if it's possible, should reach out to their technical colleges and just look for the opportunities that are there, because of course you get paid on the job, you get the training you need, but you also get to meet people from different walks of life, and just, you get to grow as a person and gain the confidence that you need.
So what's your day in life right now for you as an apprentice? What's it like?
So currently right now I'm on A shift. I work 24 hours, and in the morning from 8:45 to about 2 in the afternoon, we have class time for EMT, and then throughout the rest of the day I do my daily duties that I may need to do as a firefighter.
Sounds pretty exciting. So as you can see, even in high school, it's a great place to start with teachers that could provide this information to the students to get them excited that this might be a good next step for them as a career. Gosh knows we need fire and EMS paramedics in our community badly. So a great way to serve and be fulfilled in your profession.
And Jane, let me mention that he's 19 years old. Isn't that impressive?
So, and a round of applause for our apprentices over here too.
And we also want to acknowledge our Board of Commissioners in Thomas County. We have Mike Stevenson, Wiley Grady, and Philip Brown. If y'all please stand, they are the reason that we were able to truly start this. They approved the program, and we thank them tremendously.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some questions from the audience. What are some questions you might want to have answered or find out a little bit more about this street to station non-traditional program?
Hey there, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. And I just want to point out that working for a county is a great opportunity. These are great jobs that you can put folks into. They have benefits, they have salary opportunities to grow, they have, it's a foundational starting point, but this young man, all of you guys, have embarked on a career that's just leading to tremendous financial opportunity, job opportunities, taking care of your family and so forth. And that's really the foundational basis of registered apprenticeships, that they provide terrific job opportunities, and that's part of the attraction for your participants, right? If you're trying to lure people in, these are great jobs. You're getting paid while you learn, and it's a pathway.
Just a comment here from my new colleague, Derrick here, has been with Thomas County for how many years? 46?
38.
38, oh, I'm sorry. 38 years, that's still quite a ways. So as you can see, he's made, you have any words of wisdom while he's been
There's a lot. We're on a time here, so I better get started.
But also you can tell he's enjoyed his profession, has got a lot out of it, so. Other questions?
Again, if you have a question, you can put it on a sticky note and we'll get to it later, or you can raise your hand.
We have time for...
I've got a question.
Okay.
What made you answer the call to the ad?
Tell them about your CNA. Just tell them you had another program.
So I actually approached for a CNA program, and I completed the course and went into the healthcare field. However, I found that it simply just was not for me, and I saw the firefighter ad, and I was like, well, if I want to make a difference in my community, this is another way that I can do it.
Doing it your personal way.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell them how you found out about the program. Where'd you see it?
Oh, I found out about the program online through Indeed.
We put it out there.
Another question? What is your ideal cohort size that you're accepting?
So whenever we look for the amount that we can take in, it's all dependent upon what your current policy is, your budget and everything like that. So obviously us with our county leadership had to establish what we had as far as positions and budget to be able to do that. And then once we came up with that, we were able to target the amount that we fed into there. And then you have to look at the other aspect as well, is that since we are moving forward and they are taking, programs through Southern Regional, it also has to be dependent upon the class size that will accept that as well. So that's kind of one of the biggest driving things that we use collectively across the board. So.
Okay, and when, for the cohort that you started and those that were non-completion, what were the reasons that they did not complete?
To be honest with you, the work is very demanding. Whenever they start at fire school, obviously there's classroom time, but we're putting them in gear. We're putting them in structure fires. They're learning a very hazardous skill, and honestly, to be blunt, that is not for everybody. And so we have to identify certain factors that just are not compatible with that type of service, and those are kind of the things that transpired from there. So.
Are there any other questions? I've got another one if you don't. So Mr. Ogletree, you mentioned the need in the community. And when you talk about firefighter and EMT, you call 911, you use an ambulance, or you need a fire truck. Did you not have the personnel to answer all those calls? What was your need in the community?
Yes, ma'am, we had personnel at that time to manage those calls. We were running several calls a day, several ambulances and fire trucks out a day. The purpose for this is like Lieutenant said, we had so many seats in our budget and we just couldn't fill the rest of them. So I had employees working extra time. I had employees working overtime. I had several that are working 48 hours, and that just wears down and gets to you after a while. So it's not that we couldn't handle it, but we were handling it with a small group of people, and now we have the opportunity to let them get a rest, let them get some food, let them get some sleep while we continue our charge.
We have a question up front here too.
Amy, this question's for you. How do you see Southern Regional expanding this to your other service areas outside of Thomas County? Do you see going to other service areas?
Absolutely, yeah, Karen mentioned to me that it doesn't have to be a cohort, it doesn't have to be a class of students. We can do 1, 2, 3, however many you're interested in. But we actually have been all outside of Thomas County. We are in Decatur County and Cairo. We're in all the counties, actually. I don't think we have 110 apprentices we have signed since we started the program. And I would say about 80% of those are healthcare apprentices. Some are automotive, some other transportation, some manufacturing. But yes, Tammy and I went on the road and sold several of our hospitals within our 11 counties along the way. But yeah, but when you're talking about this specific program, it's something that the county will have to decide if that's the route they want to take. And some of them, like in our case, the county manages fire and EMT, all the emergency services. In some counties, that's done through a city or through a hospital. So it's something we can all figure out, though.
Okay, thank you. We're going to end on time here, so thank you, panelists, Fabian and the apprentices, for sharing your program with us today. And thank you for your service to our communities. Let's have a round of applause for this wonderful apprenticeship and role modeling program for the state of Georgia. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you, Jane.
All right, that was very informative and a really great program. So call up our next segment. bring up Laura Calhoun, who's going to moderate conversations with educators, with Kim Bennett Callahan with WBL and YAP, Ware County High School, Kristy Henderson, Director of CTAE and Dual Enrollment, Ben Hill County School System. Laura.
Are the panelists here? Here we are, okay. We haven't met yet. How are y'all? Good. All right. I like that you're sitting on both sides. To make it easier for everybody. So, I'm Laura Calhoun. I am the Executive Director of the Southwest Georgia Area Health Education Center. So Jane is my counterpart. She beats me by 1 county. They've got 39, we've got 38. So between the two of us, we cover most of Georgia. And again, our mission is to grow the healthcare workforce for rural and underserved areas. So super excited to be a part of this event. This is my 4th, and it's amazing to see it grow every year. I come out of here each time learning something new from each of the speakers. Amy, that was great information about this apprenticeship, and my brain is already turning on some other ideas. So that's what I take out of this, is the ideas that are sparked from other people's conversations, and then the opportunity to meet people that have the same mission as us. So our conversation though here is with educators. So it's the opportunity for y'all to speak to the employers of the students you're teaching. And then as employers, y'all can hear from the teachers now and instructors what they're dealing with and going on in their programs. So I will introduce both of our speakers. Kristy Henderson currently serves as the director of the CTAE, and for those that don't know, that's Career Technical and Agricultural Education and Dual Enrollment for the Ben Hill County School System. She has a passion for shaping the future of students, and Kristy has worked in education since 2007. As the director of CTAE, she plays a crucial role in developing and implementing programs that bridge the gap between education and the workforce, preparing students for success in their chosen fields. In addition to her responsibilities in CTAE, Kristy oversees the dual enrollment program, facilitating a seamless transition for students to earn college credits while still in high school. So a great program there. And then we also have Mrs. Kim Bennett Callahan. She is the work-based learning coordinator at Ware County High School. She is passionate about placing students in internships that align with their chosen career field, allowing students to gain valuable experience while also contributing to the local workforce. In addition, Kim serves as an instructor for the CTAE Resource Network since 2013. She also has served in various capacities on the Georgia State Work-Based Youth Apprenticeship Executive Board. And she's a member of the inaugural Georgia WBL, Work-Based Learning Top Gun, class of 2015. She was a top 20 coordinator in the state, so that's awesome. She was selected to the WBL Coordinator of the Year for school year 2018 to 2019. So between the two of them, we've got apprenticeships and CTAE stuff covered. So now that we know who you are, I would like each of you to explain a little bit more about your program, especially for the employers that might not be familiar with them that are in the school system. So.
I guess, okay. So work-based learning youth apprenticeship is basically for our 10th through 12th graders, and they can apply for our program. And it's for students that want to enter the program to enter the workforce and to provide them with some experience on the job, hands-on experience that extends beyond what they have learned in their classes, their CTE classes. So hopefully whatever they're interested in, my job is to get them out in that community, into the work site where they can gain, use their skills they've learned in the classroom and gain experience on the job. And hopefully love it. Sometimes they don't, and we make a change there. So.
Okay, so with my program, being over CTAE, it's, you know, there's a variety of different opportunities for our students, and healthcare is just one of them. And with healthcare, we have an awesome partnership with Dormy Medical Center and Ware Technical College. So we have this year about 25 CNA students. So in that partnership with Dormy Medical Center, we have different opportunities such as work-based learning, job shadowing, Grow Your Own program. You know, we actually named our lab after Dorney Medical Center because they are a huge sponsor for us. So some of the things that they allow, we have all different areas of job shadowing at Dorney Medical Center. So we had a student last month that job shadowed a nurse anesthetist all day long. So that was a great opportunity for them. So it's these partnerships that are opening up these doors for these students. They're doing more job shadowing this week, or excuse me, not this week, we're out of school this week. This month and next month in all areas of healthcare. So they're not just shadowing for CNA or nursing. You know, they're looking at all aspects in the healthcare field.
That's great, and I would just, as an AHEC, as a workforce development organization, I mean, these are two key components to employers developing those relationships to grow your own, because again, rural, we're fighting opportunities to keep students here. They want to leave to go to the big city, so the sooner we can touch and engage them with our employers in the career that they want locally, the better chance they are going to stay. So it's an investment not only on their part into the students, but employers having those students come in and start to experience your environment and cultivate that relationship for a future position, hopefully. So, and y'all's are slightly different programs. Can I get you to talk, each of you, about the successes of your programs? Because we all love a good success story.
So my program has grown from both standpoints, from my student participation. We usually were somewhere, we're around 1,500 students. And so usually my program's around 100, 130. We've almost doubled. So we're around 250 now. And likewise with the employer placements, my students are placed at various areas in the community because I cover healthcare, but we cover all our career pathways, work-based learning coordinators and youth apprenticeship coordinators. So we have somewhere around 200 employers that we work with placing these students in our community. I'm in a rural area, so they are the lifeline for, everybody has to go to work at some point, and so it's hopefully just providing that pipeline for my students and for our employers. So they have me to help kind of monitor them.
Yeah, that sounds great. I will ask.
I can keep going all day about work-based learning.
Well, we'll come back to more if we have time. I will ask, do all schools have a work-based learning coordinator?
We have around, 500 across the state. Our DOE specialist is in the back there, Laura Boswell. And so keep me straight, but I think we have around 500 across the state. Not all schools have work-based learning programs. I believe there's around 300 or so, 350, somewhere in there, that have the youth apprenticeship work-based learning programs. So we have about, just to give you a few little facts, we have a website that you can refer to if you have more information. It's gawbl.org, but around 25,000 students are served, 10,000 plus employers, and then I believe we're around 507 coordinators the last time I looked at that data. So.
Okay, so with the program that we have with the partnership with Dorney, so what we actually do is they hire 2 students each year. So in the past 2 years, they've hired 4 students, and those students they were hired as CNAs. And we're looking into, maybe some other opportunities later, but right now they're kind of doing the Grow Your Own program. So to build them up, there's scholarship opportunities available. There's, they can work while they go to school, and then they can come back and work in, at Dorney Medical Center. So this is just basically trying to help bridge that gap, but, for the workforce.
Okay, great. And while we all love a success story, we all are realistic in knowing that there's always challenges. Nothing ever comes easy. Can you each share with us some of the challenges or lessons learned along the way in your roles and with your programs?
Some of my challenges have been just probably one of the big barriers. I have about 25, probably 30 healthcare students in my 200 students that I have every year in work-based learning and youth apprenticeship. But while I have great support, I'm in a rural area, as I mentioned earlier. Sometimes the age limit, we have 16, 17-year-olds mostly. We have a few 18-year-olds. And so getting those students into the larger corporations has been difficult because they have an 18-year-old age limit. I think we've heard that before. But honestly, I have a great community workforce. They support our students, they host our students, they employ our students. And many of them stay on because they provide them opportunities to continue their education with them beyond high school. So that is one barrier. And there are 16, 17-year-olds and they do change their minds. So, we work with that too. I mean, we are here to provide that, like she said, a bridge to helping that student find the career path that they are suited for and service our community and what our employment needs are.
And those bridges can go both ways, and sometimes they take us over to different bridges, so
Have
following all that. And I'll say, since we've been a part of this, and since I've been part of the age limit thing has always been an issue, but I think more and more hospitals are relaxing on that, and other organizations, because they realize it is such an important step to attracting that workforce.
I agree. The age has always been an issue, but I see more and more doors opening as we move along through this. Our Dormany Medical Center, I know there's other long-term care facilities that are starting to open their doors to us, so it's making a big difference.
So as instructors of the workforce that'll be caring for us in the future, what would you want the future employers out here to know about students that you are working with now?
You want to go? Okay.
I just want to say that we have some great students that are really, truly ready to go into the workforce. And I just want to encourage all the businesses to reach out to the local high schools. You may not can partner monetarily, but even if you go talk to the students, go out into those classrooms and speak to them and, tell them about different career opportunities. Some students don't know that in a hospital, there's more than nurses, there's more than doctors. There's a lot more different jobs in the business world there, and so there's a lot of opportunities. So I would just encourage you to go and speak to those students at the high school.
Work-based learning overall, we strive to connect the student with their related coursework, what their career goal is in a structured work experience in the perfect world. And so as you heard your speaker earlier today, she spoke about her mentors. I mean, you're making a difference in those students' lives. You've got go-getters that are out there that are trainable, and just helping them kind of evolve through the process. It makes a true difference. I'm just trying, we just try to really complete the experience for the student and also to build that partnership for our community to grow a workforce.
Okay. And before we go to questions, I'll just say, is there anything that I haven't asked you or something that you want to share or a note that you made that you think is important for other people to hear about the work that you're doing or the students or anything?
I will say, I talked about the Wiregrass is one of our big partners, and we're trying to, close that gap with preparing the workforce. So we work closely with them, and they've come up with a pre-nursing classes. So like all the classes that students would need to take while they're in high school for dual enrollment, and to be ready to go straight into the LPN or RN program. So always work, closely with your technical schools too.
I think one thing is for employers to know that and for the community to know that we go through and we screen these students, you know, prior to them going off campus. So it's a big undertaking. So we do go through and make sure that those students are in check with their discipline, attendance, and grades. So that's something. You also have a support system from your school system. So it's truly a partnership between the students, the parents, the school, and the community workforce. So just keep that in mind, that you have that little bit of extra support as if you're hiring off the, you know, blindsided off the street, basically. So thank you.
And I'm going to kind of do this in reverse. I have a question since we have the Georgia Department of Education folks here. What would you recommend if someone here is in a county that does not have a work-based learning coordinator or CTAE program at their school? My answer would be contact your AHAC because we can make those connections, but are there any other thoughts that you have in that situation?
I can use my teacher voice. I'm Laura Boswell. I'm the work-based learning program specialist at the Georgia Department of Education. And you may know Sandra Martin. She is a care program specialist at the Georgia Department of Education. I think the one thing, if you don't know if the local school system has a CTAE department or a work-based learning program, I would go into that school building and ask. Make sure you know who the healthcare science teachers are, who the counselors are, and then start those conversations. Is work-based learning an opportunity that we can look into implementing at this high school? Of course, you can always, we have a CTAE region specialist also that you can get in touch with at the Georgia Department of Education, and they might be able to steer those conversations a little bit further as well.
I was just going to say, we have almost 500 high school healthcare teachers in the state of Georgia. And I know a lot of people in here are business and industry and post-secondary partners, and our high school teachers are several. Can I have them stand up so they can be represented just for a second? Because these teachers that teach our high school students and our middle school teachers So I am so proud of them because they are the beginning step outside of a home that prepares the workforce for healthcare. And they need you. They need your partnership desperately. They want to bridge with post-secondary partners as well as business and industry. Work-based learning is the conduit, I guess, I'm a carpenter person here, but it sticks to what they're doing out there to that industry. That person, like him, goes out there and connects them with the business and industry side, where that healthcare teacher is still in her classroom, or his classroom, still teaching, usually over 100 healthcare students. So to have that partnership sitting in this room and to see that they're here wanting to make a difference in this community is just absolutely incredible. And so reaching out, just like Laura said, to the school systems, sometimes there's a graduation coach and counselor that can help Laura in that situation. I know we talked multiple times about that. Because even though that school doesn't have a healthcare program, it doesn't mean there's students in that building that doesn't want to go in that direction. So,
absolutely.
We'll get creative and hopefully find ways, contact me, maybe we can
I want to piggyback real quick on what Sandra was saying. The work-based learning program, we have students that we're an untouched talent at the high school level. I got really excited when they started talking about the apprenticeship opportunities with the firefighters. We have a pathway, a career technical pathway that's firefighting. And we have a lot of students that are pre-apprentices at the high school level in the firefighting pathway. So I got really excited because I thought, oh good, this is the next step for those students in the apprenticeship piece of it that school level, the healthcare science teachers, and the work-based learning youth apprenticeship coordinators, and begin those conversations. Thank you.
Anybody else have a question?
I have a question. Here. Kim, you had mentioned how many employers you place and that the age limit is a barrier a lot of times. Do you have employers that you place where they're not paid, where they're volunteer, or are they always paid in work-based learning?
They do not have to be paid, but all of my students are paid. Every now and then I do have a special area student will come and want to get some work experience. Certainly I arrange that because that's what it's about. That is my job, to help guide that student and get them that experience. But all of our employers, I mean, it's been a while since I've had a student that actually did not get paid because they are working, and I think that's part of the process. It's an important part of the process for those students to experience that pay, the process, and it just kind of resonates with that student. You know, it kind of starts their work journey. And I have, I mean, all of my employers, they support them. If they are not, if they are bound by that 18-year-old guideline, which I have a tremendous Baptist Villages here today, they hire a ton of our students, and they are not bound by that. So we have a ton that do find loopholes and ways around to do that. So it's just, the biggest compliment to me is when I have those employers come back and ask for more students. After you've been doing it, it's really about the relationships you build with those employers and the process that you build with those students and making that connection.
Any more questions? Everybody's getting hungry, I think.
You guys are usually talkative.
No, because I
Lunch
just
is
said
right around the
earlier, if
between
you
them
have,
and
microphone shy, you have the notepads on your table, write down the notes, and we'll put them on the wall of our parking lot, that we'll answer later on. So keep that in mind, too.
Before she answers her or asks her question, are there any employers in the room that do not work with the work-based learning coordinators of the high school? I don't mean to call you out, but all right. So let's get you talking with people and seeing how we can get you kids into your facility.
And I just want to add to that, if they aren't able to do that because of that age requirement, there are other activities like our hospital has worked with us on doing other things for us, providing job shadowing, tours. So there are other things that they can, you know, our local hospital does that for us, so.
That's what I was gonna add. Ms. Callahan is actually at our school. So she works well with us, so if that does come up, and that's an issue. Our hospital has been wonderful about offering job shadowing opportunities, and we've been able to take students as part of a group to actually tour, and they might be part of HOSA or in a healthcare science class, and we've been able to take them to actually tour and see the inside of our facility when they're not 18. So with Ware County High School. So I'm the healthcare science teacher, along with Ms. Evans behind me here. So they have been able to take groups that actually tour the facility when they're not 18. And I'll plug that. On your table sign is a little pocket, and in that pocket has a QR code. It's the orange QR code. That'll take you to our YouTube channel. We have 22 videos on there, and a lot of them are tours of inside the facilities in our 18-county region. And as far as the K-12 and post-secondary educators, letting your students see the opportunities that we have available in our area, and letting them see the job openings that are available, the careers, And then you might see the outside of the building, but you have no idea what it looks like, and you'd be impressed with a lot of these facilities. And so those videos are on there for you to look at too.
And to build on that, Amy, I would just say, if you're not familiar with your AHEX and our health careers manual that we have, I think it's current one is 2022 to 2024, is a great resource. We've got some bookmarks that you can access it for your students on any of the AHEC sites. Just look up Georgia AHEC and you'll find it. But a great resource for teachers and students on exploring the different careers. It's got information on scholarships. It's got information on what schools have what programs. So it's an invaluable resource for teachers and students and parents to encourage health careers. Anybody else? Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.